That's your favorite. I think. I don't think that's my favorite.
Brad Paisley's your favorite. Come on, stop it now.
Do I look like Brad Paisley to you? Is that what I remind you of?
Yes.
I'm better looking Brad Paisley.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't think of another one though. I used to think of a whole bunch. I can't think of another one now.
I'm just kidding. I don't even know what Brad Paisley looks like.
I don't either. I just went with it. So there you go.
Go ahead and sing. Go ahead and sing, Magic Mike. We like when you sing.
No, I saved that for
Magic Mike, please.
Please entertain us. I'd pay front row tickets for your singing. Let everybody hear what they sing.
Everybody else needs to do as well. So that's the pre.
Hey, give him something to holler about.
They have to pay for that one.
What does that mean?
You wanna in the front row when you're hollering, yeah. That's what I want to do that. So you got to sing.
You know what? That is your real voice for all listeners out there. Everybody watching, that's his real voice when he gets excited.
You do in the ads, you go, yeah, like make that sound.
Listen, Moose, you do better than that. Come on now, don't try to act like you don't do it better than that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when Gamegod gets scared, he does the same thing.
Hey, now that's true. I'll take credit for that one. That's true.
Just gonna make a few adjustments here, guys. Don't worry. If you don't see me, it doesn't mean I'm not here.
Don't attempt to adjust your television.
Hey, keep talking, Mike. Keep talking.
I am. I'm always talking.
Oh, you couldn't hear me. I was talking to you.
I'm trying. Hey, every time I see Mike pop on, I'm always looking to see if he's got something new in the background now.
No,
it's like an Easter egg. You got to figure out which one it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Move it around so it looks new. Like I got something behind me right now. I'll put it up over here next week.
You know what you need to do is you need to pick up like a little Mandalorian figure, a Mando figure, and say, "Where's Mando?" and put him somewhere. Put him in the background somewhere.
Hey, I got something to talk to you guys about. Since we're gonna start a podcast here in just a minute, but I was giving a preview, Magic Mike. I was talking to Gamegod offline. You remember this bad boy right here?
I do. Yes.
Okay, so it's got my communicator, my Star Trek communicator, EOS, the original series. And this communicator I picked up. It's Bluetooth. You can hook to your phone and all that good stuff. Do you remember how much I paid originally for it?
I don't. I know it was more than I would have paid, but yes.
Yeah, $100.
Yeah,
$100.
Okay. I was thinking 150, but yeah, okay, $100.
They had a phaser, a TOS phaser that I wanted to get. The same company made it, and I was going to buy the phaser before I even bought this. I was like, yeah, I don't know. And so I put it off. I picked this up. I was like, I still need to get that phaser. I had a couple of tries at trying to get one for cheaper than what it is new. And, I lost out by like, I don't know, $10 or something. I'm like, it stinks. And so for the past few weeks, I've been meaning to look again and go, look, I just need to pick that phaser up. Why not?
Okay.
So as I go to look, I try to find it, and I can't find it. I'm like, oh no, I've completely lost an opportunity of buying this phaser that matches this quality piece here. Okay, quality. So the phaser is equal as quality. The quality is equal to this. It's good. It's awesome, actually. And so I couldn't find it. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go to the internet, and let me go to like somewhere like Amazon. I couldn't find it on Amazon. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm like, did they stop making it? I don't know. So I look on eBay. So I look up the phaser, the same company who makes it, and I find it. I'm like, yes, finally, I see it. And the phaser, but here's the kick. But the thing is it was $150 brand new. Yeah, I know. That's where you. So guess how much it's going for essentially now?
$200, $300,
$1,500.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I choked on my drink, and then I looked up my little communicator, and my communicator now is going for $400 to $500.
Woo!
And I'm like, I'll never own one of these phasers now. I'll never own one.
Oh, you
I won't pay $1,500 for a phaser that doesn't work. Well, actually, it does work. It controls your TV. It's a remote control.
No.
But I will never have one. So it doesn't matter.
Just because of that, you should have bought it. I'm just saying.
And you got beat out by $10. Now I got to tell you, that was a great story, but I'm disappointed because I expected in the end to go, I found one and picked it up, and you're going to show.
Right. That's right. I spent the $1,500.
I was leading you down that path.
Yes, you were.
Till I learned that it was $1,500. I think the cheapest one I saw was like $1,200 that had like 22 bids on it.
Oh my goodness!
You know the scary part of this whole story though is that don't let him fool you. He would have spent it.
No, I wouldn't have. Here's the thing. It's just it doesn't do that much for me to spend $1,500 for the phaser, and now I need to pay attention, and I'm gonna have to scour the regular Facebook Marketplace so I can find it. Somebody's selling it for $50 or something.
Do you think there's that many out there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Moose of Young would have never let that happen. By the way, I just want you to know.
Well, he would have got bid out by $10. That's
I know. He would have never. He would have had like 6 programs sniping this.
A while back, I really didn't. I was like, I'll pick one up. I think I can get it cheaper, so I didn't. I didn't do it.
Yeah. Not today.
Hey, I thought you get wiser with age, not this one.
Oh. Well, that's like saying, would you pay $1,500 for a lightsaber? I mean, because it only does so much. So I'm with Moose. I'm not paying $1,500 for.
Not going to do it.
Yeah.
$200.
Hey, give him the real reason why you won't do it. Give him the real reason.
No, we don't talk about that. But there is, I can't bring it within myself to do it. So anyway,
no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Hey. On the thing of spending now, I got 3 helmets to buy. There's 3 helmets out there.
Which 3 helmets are out there? Hey, you know what? We can talk about this on a podcast. We could talk about this, can't we?
Yeah.
Nobody's in anyway, so go ahead and get started.
Thanks for putting that out there for recording.
Pick a seat. Pick a seat.
Let me see what we got here. I have. We have browsing music. I don't know if you guys know this. It's close. It's just kind of browsing music.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. All right, and that's it. I found what I needed to find. Okay. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's like a magic wand.
That was easy.
Yeah. I have one of those buttons around here somewhere. You know me, a collector.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's see how we can do this. On this episode, we're going to catch up or play a little catch up, I suppose. Mandalorian, Discovery, Fantastic Beast news. There's some new games out there, some new tech. Oh boy, where do we start?
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Gamegod, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Yes, that's right. I am Moose. You see the other 2 rascals here. This is episode number 275. We've got a lot to talk about, and some things more than others, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if I was alone in that boat.
Well, no. Well, and so I'm just gonna, because Gigi's just pulling stuff off of his desk. So let me here. I think I got a peanut M&M wrapper here somewhere. He's just trying to show us.
We see you out there. Thanks for joining us in the chat room. If those listening on their podcast, yes, you can join us in the chat room anytime. Usually it's Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. We've had some offsite meetings. We had an election. We had a couple other things. So tonight it's Wednesday at 9:15. But thanks for joining us anyway and hanging out with us. be a part of the program, is what I say.
Yeah.
He's just pulling stuff off the desk, like, hey, check this out.
Hey, no, that's my latest. That's
Look
my
at this.
latest
Yeah,
Gundam.
Yeah.
That's my latest Gundam figure. That's the newest one that's to the collection that was been built.
Wait, by the
You
way,
have these though.
oh, rubber bands. Yeah, look at this. This is a receipt from a Star Wars Celebration in 2010. Just so you know.
Oh,
Listen,
very nice.
I got you guys beat.
I got a couple.
you guys
of those,
beat.
by the way.
I got Post-it stickies.
Hey,
Hold
speaking of Star Wars Celebration, there was I received an email that talked about Star Wars Celebration showing on their online store. They updated it. I don't know if you remember us talking about this, where I purchased my Tauntaun.
Yes.
With a live Tauntaun.
Yes, it wasn't passed away.
Yeah, unfortunately. But they did update their store and added some new things. I thought that would be kind of fun to talk about. And by the way, if you haven't been there yet, I mean, some of these things are exclusive, or they were the only ones selling these Celebration things, and they have these pens, the Celebration pens, which are actually very, very cool, but they are very pricey as well. Of course, anything Star Wars is going to be a little pricey.
Of course.
Let me just tell you, they had a lot of baby Yoda stuff, just so you know.
Sure they do. Is that I'm looking at the coin set moves that you're talking about. Is that I think the coin set's new, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Take a look at this. I'm gonna share this screen real fast. Maybe for those joining us on Facebook, they can check it out.
Ooh, I like that patch.
You're talking about it, and
as I'm waiting for it to come up, I'm like, man.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, they've definitely added a lot more.
Yes, they have.
Well, I guess it's not going to allow me to do it. I think there's some updates from Chrome that's not going to allow me to do it. That's okay. You never know what you're going to get. It's a podcast, and you just don't know what you're going to get. So yeah, so they have a TIE Fighter duffel bag, a Mandalorian canvas style military jacket. I thought it was kind of cool. They had one of the cool things that was the child plush backpack. They have a Mando backpack already, and then they have the Mandalorian plush Mudhorn egg. I thought that was kind of fun. And then the Tauntaun plush slippers. Yes, that's right.
I gotta say, some of this stuff does look a little cheesy, though. I'm like, are we starting to lose a little quality here?
It could be. I guess it could be.
I'm like, some of this stuff, I think they pulled it back out of Target, put it back on the website.
I think so. I think it could be. What don't you like? What do you think looks a little quality challenged?
Where do I start? Pick a t-shirt. Pick a t-shirt. I mean, these t-shirts are not $40-$30 worth. I'm just saying. I paid $15.
So now we're talking about cost. So you're not talking about quality. You're just saying you wouldn't pay that money no matter what it was.
Listen,
basically.
Okay, a screen print Baby Yoda child carry t-shirt is $30. I'd pay $10 for that shirt.
But why would you pay $10? Would you pay $30?
It actually looks like it's only $7 worth, but I'd give them the $3 because it's Star Wars.
Yeah, but how about the IG-11 17-ounce stainless steel water bottle? It's IG-11, looks like IG-88. You know, that's kind of cool. I kind of like it.
Well, that's coming from the bottle collector. I did think that the Star Wars VHS tape lined notebook with vintage slipcase is worth the $15 for a notebook. I definitely think that was worth it.
Well, it's $50 for the Return of the Jedi one too, and I'm for that one. That's good for me.
Y'all see my Tauntaun anywhere on there? My little Tauntaun with the removal
for it. I don't.
No, they took it off. It's done. That's it. It's yours.
Well, they have the Tauntaun plush with the removable Luke. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's it.
His eyes are open. So on the picture here,
off the dead one. Yeah, I still need to send that back. I talked to the guy, and I had to pull my my media card out and to say, hey, yeah, I did. I had to pull rank and say, well, just so you know, we're Star Wars Celebration guests, and we've never had this type of experience before, buddy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Moose. We'll get that corrected for you. That's
right. Basically, what happened. I know that's no kidding. The problem is that now
so far, my favorite one is the Armor's Force Forge embroidered patch. I like that. That's very nice.
That's pretty cool. It's only $8.
Yep.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
Yeah, can't beat $8 for a patch. Can't beat that.
Keep in mind, though, Gamegod, remember this. It says Star Wars Celebration on it, so it's going to be, more expensive.
Absolutely. I'm with it. I'm spending. I already spent $200 just looking at it.
You sound like like you're, I don't know, upset.
I am. I feel like, I'm a disgruntled non-shopper.
Just that's you typically, though. Unless it's under $5, that's typically you anyway.
That's correct.
Right, well, anyway,
correct.
That's my Star Wars celebration. Hey, let's start with can we talk a little Mando?
We can.
Episode 2 came out already. I don't know if you've seen this, and there's another one coming out in 2 days, which we'll see right away. What's your impressions of Mando season 2 episode 2? What do you think?
Go ahead, Mike. I'm gonna let you lead off. I'm gonna let you
go first.
We're handing it off. Nobody wants to start. Well, okay. So where do I start? I felt like I was watching a 1985 production of animatronics. I'm like, what is the deal with Mr. Ant-Man? I know it's Star Wars universe, and I know this fantasy, and I know this guy. You got to close your eyes a little bit for some imagination, but man, I think I was watching Sesame Street. That's how I felt about it. But before I even get into that stuff, why are we having filler episodes already?
Oh my gosh! Now you just said before you get into it, as you got into it, I thought that was interesting. But I gotta tell you, I'm going to jump in because you don't want to get into it yet, and I am 100% on board with you. I felt like this was a filler or a throwaway episode. There were a lot of cool things in there. Don't get me wrong, because it's Star Wars. I mean, I love it when they say that, or when the jetpack, he's like, give him the jetpack, and he takes the jetpack and he just goes, bloop, pushes the button and it shoots the guy up in there, and that was great. And then the jetpack comes down by itself. So there was a lot of cool things in there that made me enjoy it, made me laugh. And I don't know if you guys caught this. I'm sure Moose, you did, but just the fact that Baby Yoda was in a hammock sleeping, I was thinking back to, Return of the Jedi. Or no, excuse me, Empire, right? No, it was Return of the Jedi. Beginning. So when he's in the hammock and when he dies, I was like, oh, it just brought me back there. I thought that was really cool.
Right.
But yeah, I did feel like Gigi when this was a throwaway episode, it felt like, for the storyline.
Man, you guys are rough. I gotta tell you, I thought it was great. This was a classic Star Wars type episode. And to kind of belabor it a little bit for you guys going back, I mean, you get into you say it's a throwaway episode because of the animatronics. Like, how do you think ants are supposed to move?
No, that's a throwaway episode because it did not move the story.
I'm going back, belaboring your ant thing.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
supposed to move.
This guy's moving like 2 frames per second. Like, it was not even smooth, man. Come on, these
I didn't ask you what he was doing. I'm asking you, how are ants supposed to move? If that wasn't it, how are they supposed to move?
Smoother than that.
No, okay, so you haven't answered the question still. Okay, so you are, man. I got to tell you, you guys are just completely off here. First of all, let me just say that Baby Yoda, the child, as it's so forenamed, that him eating those eggs is just one of the funniest things I've seen in forever. Particularly in a Star Wars episode or a film or whatever. That was hilarious, and every time he popped out a new one, whoop, and then took it. That was great.
It was funny, but it was a little creepy at the same time. I'm like,
what are you talking about? You know what? The internet exploded a little bit.
Yes,
there were some people that was upset. That Baby Yoda was eating eggs, and it was their family, and it was their lifeline, and all of this. In this episode called "The Passenger," which is the frog lady, nickname. Mm-hmm. But I gotta tell you, what we learned was she was transporting these eggs, or she was carrying them, and they were transporting her, so that her husband could fertilize the eggs. Mm-hmm. And so it's no different than us eating like eggs from a chicken that's unfertilized. We get to eat the eggs
The chicken's not talking to me. Let me just say that. The chicken's not talking to me.
They are, sir. You just don't understand them. You don't understand them. They are talking to you, and if they could have some robot forearm hooked up to their throat or talking into it, yeah, you still got to eat. What's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh! Maybe you're right. Maybe they are talking to me, but I'm not trying to save the race. These are the last ones.
Race. It was her line. It was just her line, not the race. Come on.
I have a bigger issue, and you guys know this because of just knowing me outside. The spiders, man. The spiders.
Well, okay, all right. So you guys didn't like Baby Yoda eating the eggs? I thought it was hilarious.
No, I thought it was funny. I just thought it was like it kept doing it, so like it got a little creepy. I'm like, dude, just leave the eggs alone. She's sitting right next to you. The mom's sitting right next to you.
Well, it reminded me. It reminded me of being a kid when mom says, "Don't touch the candies." And you're like, "I'm gonna take another one. I'm gonna take another one."
Okay. No, like I said, Moose, it wasn't the animatronics that the Ant-Man animatronics that did it for me. It was just it didn't progress the storyline very good for me. I love all the different things about it. Like I said, the pieces I mentioned, I love the spiders, all that they happened there, and they were stuck in the ice. And then you got to see the X-Wing scene. That was awesome to me. I really enjoyed the show.
That's the best scene for Moose was the X-Wings. I know I was surprised he didn't lead with that because I thought he was going to say the X-Wings stole everything.
The X-Wings were a great addition. I love seeing them come into play. First of all, when they were trying to give them clearance and their wings spread so they formed the X piece, you knew that it was attack mode, by the way. That's how you knew that they were preparing to fight. And I just think that's so great. I think that's awesome. I love seeing it. I love seeing a different perspective in other and then familiarity with what we've become accustomed to seeing. I just think that's awesome.
Well, I thought it was pretty funny. It was like, can you switch to channel 2? And I was like, okay, something's not right here.
Open up. It's time to go.
Well, and then when you saw the X things open, like Tamu says, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
And then it felt like there was a little homage to going through into the Death Star, going into the canyon, and that was cool as well. Like I said, I loved. Don't get me wrong, Moose. I loved the episode. I just didn't like it moved the storyline.
Yeah, and that's why I'm at with Mike. I think when I say a filler episode, it did not move the storyline. I wish just to get. Is this supposed to just explain why the Razor's crest is damaged? Is that we went through a whole episode to say why did it get damaged? That's what this episode was about.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that here in just a moment because I'm going to circle back. Remind me this spot of this podcast that we're going to circle right back around to this when we talk about Discovery. So let's talk about that when we get to Discovery. But anyway, I just thought it was great. I thought it was great. I actually thought that we might see another person there that we weren't familiar with. It reminded me, believe it or not, when they found this, this hot springs, I thought about Discovery for a moment. I thought about Star Trek, and I was like, oh man, this is like the place that the Trills would go.
Yeah.
For their symbionts, and so it reminded me of that, and then all of a sudden I see this Star Trek Discovery and see Trills and
it's foreshadow.
Yeah, I can believe it. They're on the same page, but I got to tell you though, man, just seeing what they're doing and kind of the Easter eggs and this and that, no pun intended. I see Josh in the chat room there. Hey, Josh. When you see these things happening, you kind of see what they're putting in and kind of closing holes and stories and tying things together as far as the Star Wars universe is concerned. I like that, and then it makes you think that you're in the same universe. It makes you think you're in the same timeline. I like that, and I think you got to do those things. I think you got to put them in there as far as the story is concerned. You might see the X-Wings again. But if you saw them for the first time at the end of the season, you're going to go, well, where have they been for 2 seasons? Right. And then now all of a sudden you don't have it. So now you've built in, you're like, okay, the Rebels are still there. They're, and by the way, they were doing a great job of tracking Mando, and they seemed, it was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah. Well, they did say a key line on there. Mando said a key line. He said, "May the Force be with you."
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. And I did like on the end how I did like at the end when Mando tried to push his luck and say, "So you guys gonna help me fix this hole?" And so, but like I said, the episode, I'm creeped out with spiders. So the second half of the episode, was real.
I don't like spider, but I thought that was very cool. I think that's very, very cool to see those type of things because it is kind of creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, and how they filled up the whole the ship really quick with web.
Yeah,
that was really and then and you thought they were home free because he blew up the big spider, or at least you thought he blew up the big spider.
And then he had blown up the daddy and not the mama. That's the difference.
Yeah, and when he started to lift off, he was like, "Okay, we're good." And again, you know, it's funny. It reminded me of episode 2 of Star Trek. Now that you talk about it, and they're coming off the ice, and like, we're getting out, and it got pulled back in.
Yes.
So I thought that was pretty interesting too as well. So overall, a question to you guys: the X-wing guys, are they familiar from the movie? Do you guys are they just?
I didn't see any connection. No.
Okay. I did not either. I didn't hear any taglines or anything that would remind me of that.
Did they say their names? I think they did. I don't have it in front of me, but I think they did say their names.
They may have. I may have missed it.
Yeah, but man, did they light up those spiders? I tell you.
Yeah, they did.
They
I always think it's interesting to see the artwork or the inspired artwork that proposes the shots after. I love that in the entire season 1 and now season 2. They continue that trend where you see the inspirations of what they want to put on camera. I think that's kind of cool. See the visions of what you think it's going to look like. Do you see them looking like they're spending more money on production? Because it seems like it to me. It looks like they're spending some money. Hold on a second. According to you, they're using
animatronics, but that could be expensive animatronics. They just don't look good.
I was just gonna say that, Moose. Yeah, according to Gigi, it's like no, they're losing money on the deal here. They're not spending much at all.
Well, listen, that ant they could have done better. The frog lady looked good, but the ant I'm like, what is that?
Well, let me ask you, if we go back and watch like MCU's The Ant-Man, do you think that the ants in there move differently?
Yes. Hey, I answered the question.
That with confidence, has no clue what he's talking about.
Yes.
Hold on, wait.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, the ant guy, whatever his name was, Dr. Ant, he only moved from like the shoulders up. It's like so stiff and rigid. Like, I can tear it apart. He looked like I was ready to look for the line, the little pose that hold the hand to move. I was like, where the little puppet sticks?
Wow.
I just don't know how ants are supposed to be if they that's how they move.
Hey, I'll do a report for you and I'll send it to you.
Jean says that she's pretty sure Carson was one.
The name of the X-wing fighter.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that would mean. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay.
I literally would have to go back and look. And I didn't do any homework to find out if any of those guys were originals. In any capacity, whether it's the prequels, the original, the Rogue One, whatever. Like I don't know, but I would find that pretty cool if they did use one of them. Or is that too much? Or we'd say, that's a little too much.
I don't think so, because if it was maybe not one of them, but even a name familiar with one of them, that would be kind of cool. Again, that would be one of those things that would take you back and go, oh yeah, I remember that. Then, but maybe that's his son, or maybe this is the dad, or whatever that comes later. So I think it would be cool either way. And if you don't know, then it's still cool because the whole scene itself was just awesome.
Trapper Wolf and Captain Carson.
There she goes. She's right on the money. So do you the spider thing? Would you be able to blast that out, or would you have gone to the arm fire? The flamethrower before, or what would you have done?
I would have went to the fire before. I'm like, why are we trying to single shot all these spiders? Like, I'm like,
I went the same thing.
Hey, I'm almost tempted to do one of these thermal detonators, and just like, like why don't save the ship? At this point, the ship has no door.
Yeah, I figure close up inside again. Get out and pull the an alien on them. You just get out and blast them into space.
Oh man, Yeah, you stole my. Well, I was thinking even earlier than that. Moves for the alien piece. Hey Cole, how's it going? Welcome in. But when Baby Yoda gets to he opens up the egg and the alien comes. I'm like, that's when I would have sprayed them all right after that with the fire, just lit them up.
It reminded me of the alien scene when I saw those little things. He went in and something in it. I'm like, this is like a scene out of Aliens.
Yeah, I'll wait to jump on his face and just start.
One thing's for sure, Baby Yoda likes eggs. I'll tell you that much.
See, he said you can't let it go. Let him have his fun. Come on.
Nobody complained that they were killing the spiders.
See, exactly. That's my point. Thank you.
Okay. The eggs weren't attacking Baby Yoda. I'm just saying.
No, but that's because he ate one of the childs.
He did. You're right. He did.
for any moment, did you think that Baby Yoda is not going to live at this point? Any time in the game, do you think Baby Yoda is like?
Oh, of course.
He's gonna. I always look at it from a marketing perspective. That's too much money to throw away there.
You can't
get rid of him.
That would be amazing. That you'd be like, what? Nobody would be like coming.
You're right about that. Of course. Then again, he could die and then come back to life. Maybe that's a new force power. Also, if he did, that would be the mistake they made with Darth Maul early on.
Yes.
Or they can sell plush Baby Yoda dolls with the X's on the eyes. I mean, either way, you got money either way.
Hey, inside frog eggs.
There you go. Hey, thank you, Disney. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh my goodness, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so it would
regardless, there'll still be alive Baby Yoda with the frog eggs inside.
So as I know we're gonna wrap up on this. As the season starts to get further down the road, and he's talking about finding the species or the family or the lifeline of Baby Yoda. Do you think there's more?
So that's what essentially what they're traveling to do, I guess, is go find the species. I don't know. Would it ruin Baby Yoda?
Yes. Would it ruin it
more?
I think it would.
So it's kind of like after Chewbacca, it's kind of cool when they in the prequels when they go to and they find the more the race of the Wookiees, right? There's Wookiees. It's kind of cool, and then it's like, okay, because Chewbacca was so much cooler before they found the race of Wookiees, right?
I agree with you on that. I agree with that. He's one of his kind. Now he's watered down.
Well, here's the only difference. We had Wookiee in our life for so long before we got to see the rest of his race. But so to me, it doesn't feel as watered down. But if they go into this with Baby Yoda so soon and say, okay, here's Baby Yoda, and then here's everybody else,
his mom and dad.
You've had Yoda for the entire time, so exactly. I like that. You have watered down Wookiees. That's what you're telling me.
And ants that don't move properly.
I don't know.
What's the cricket noise?
Yeah. Oh, I have that somewhere on here. But speaking of that, last Star Wars thing I'm going to bring up, there was a report out there that George Lucas had planned in the sequels that were planned, I guess, to have some interesting characters that we are familiar with in those sequels. Let me find it here real fast. One of them is I can't find it. I'll just go off the top of my head. Was Darth Maul, more of Darth Maul in the sequels that wasn't there. I thought that was interesting.
Well, we knew that was a mistake to get rid of him. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
But it was also he had an apprentice as well, so he was going to be.
Oh, that would have been very interesting.
Yeah. Which happened, I think, in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to find the report.
It didn't happen in Rebels.
I don't remember him training an apprentice in Rebels. Did he?
I'm not sure. I know you've seen that. I think because in Rebels is when he was a spider, right? He had the spider body.
Yeah, and then he transitioned to the mechanical leg. So I'd have to go back and look. I really don't remember. I get so much. I went, all of my genres start to do like this after a while. So you're focused, and then all of a sudden it goes. And I'm like, I don't know. It just blends all together. Anyway, that's that. That's all I have about that. That's it.
That's all I have to say about it.
All right now.
Let's go. Go on to Discovery.
I want to hear. Yeah, Moose was going to bring that up. I want to hear Moose first on this one.
Yeah. Let's connect the dots.
Okay. The dot is what episode was this? 4, right?
4.
Episode 4,
correct.
Yeah, episode 4. If you haven't seen it yet, don't worry, you're not missing anything. There's about 5 minutes of the entire show that you go, that was the only thing worth seeing, and that was when she was on the Trill planet, and she was in this pool, and you find out who she's carrying because she hasn't been able to connect with the Trill itself, or the symbiont. I guess that's a Trill, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Well, yeah. They are Trill. The symbiont.
They're Trill. The symbiont. Yeah. So anyway, I start. See what happens right here. Look at it. Anyway, that's it. I mean, otherwise, I was pretty much saying an entire episode. Like I'm thinking to myself, what is it that I'm watching? I couldn't figure it out.
I'm totally with you with this movie. This was
You're talking about a throwaway episode.
Yeah. This is I'm with you on this episode. You pulled 5 minutes out of it. I'm like, I could have just missed it all completely. Is this the Walking Dead effect? You know, I mean, I don't know. It was really bad. I thought last episode was bad. Oh my goodness, it got worse. I guess when I said it can't get no worse, I was wrong. I thought what was pretty cool, or if I want to pick my 5 minutes out of it, is the part where the computer on the Discovery changed.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was actually confused about that. So keep going. Tell me more about it.
So I, they try to explain it at the end with the sphere and it's protecting us now. We would protect. So, but I went and did some research because I wasn't satisfied with that answer. So I went into my Encyclopedia Britannica and and I found out that the spinoff, the Star Trek short treks,
that's where it explains it.
Yes, they explained it in there. An episode called Calypso, written by Picard, the showrunner, that the artificial intelligence is evolving, it's changed. And it was from an abandoned crew. And I can get to details, but that's where the spinoff came from. And so if you don't know that piece, if you're not really into the Star Trek lore, that's where it came from. But they try to explain it in the show in its own way. But I thought it was pretty cool because it gave the computer, I want to say data, it's not data. It gave the computer personality. So I'd like to see why they did that going forward. That's my 5 minutes I got out of the show.
Man, well, so yeah, you'd have to be pretty deep even to catch that link because like Star Wars, we talked about that where you get the links going back to other types of a part of the lore. But even for this, you'd have to be pretty deep into that because I'm not familiar with it either. And I feel pretty confident about Star Trek. But I got to tell you, you guys are crazy. And you're crazy because you're absolutely correct. This was a throwaway episode, 100%. And I really, if I get 5 minutes, it's scattered. So, and this guy, and I started thinking about this, Moose, as we talked about episode 3, where it was moving too fast. And as they move, because now they just go from one place to another in the blink of an eye with the Discovery ship. And I thought maybe that has something to do with it. There's no traveling there's no destination travel. And so that's when a lot of the things happen. Gene, yeah. That's when a lot of the things happen is when they're traveling to go somewhere for whatever. And that's when you get some of that stuff going on. But my favorite part, and this is unfortunately they took it, I don't know why they took it where they took it, because Moose, the pool part was nothing for me. But my favorite part was when they went to the planet, the Trill planet, and he's like, oh, they're excited to see, okay, well, let's see who the Trill is. Let's see who
part of my 5 minutes. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying I would have stopped after the 2 minutes. I wouldn't have gone into because they took that pool scene out way too long. But
they did.
Yeah, when they introduced the Trill and they're that whole part right there, that should have been explored more.
Let me back up a little bit. Okay, so you understand my 5 minutes. The 5 minutes is when they met them, they had some dialogue, some confrontation, which happened so quickly. I was surprised. Yes. And then all of a sudden they're walking away, and I'm like, where are they walking to? Like I don't know. There was like a scene cut that why are they
make it? It didn't make it. Left on the editing table.
Where are you going? Yeah, and then all of a sudden there was a nice little fight scene with Michael Burnham, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, okay.
Three moves. Yeah. Daredevil effect.
Yeah, Daredevil. And then all of a sudden they're at the pool, which I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's part of my 5 minutes. So when they hit the pool and it lights up, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. After that, it got a little crazy.
Yeah.
So I got two plot holes. Plot holes. So one is a small plot hole, which is when Burnham shoots the Trill. Was that phaser set to stun or to destroy?
Yeah, Gene's talking about that right now. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what she read. The other piece here, going against Federation old policy. The other piece is, again, here's more of that moving too fast, moving too slow effect. At the end of the episode, we find out through previews that the Federation is still there.
Yes. Why they show me this?
I'm like, I don't want to see it now. I like the luster is gone. It goes. I'm going to echo, Mike, what you just said. It's the traveling. It has to be the traveling because they're from one point they're here at Earth. From Earth they hear the Trill. They obviously show that they're going to be with the Federation and whatever internal grumblings that's going to happen. But it's so quick. It's like, wait a minute.
But that's the problem I had with the previous episode, that they were moving so fast in a conflict. They beamed the bad guy on board. They made it through, and I'm like, man, what? This is moving too fast. Yeah. So when you talk about building the storyline back from Mandalorian, now we go to this one. You're like, well, where's the storyline? Where are we going? Like, you're moving the storyline too fast. I think that's what made Star Trek so cool back in the day. Is they were traveling, and you got the rest of the story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And now for the rest of the story. But the thing is that Moose, I think I figured something else out too. They are drawing out the parts that should be fast and making the parts that should be drawn out fast, move fast. Because this will. Are we not done with the whole we're all suffering and distraught thing? That has got played out since the beginning. Let it go already. I don't want to hear any more about we're all suffering, traveling through space. Guess what's going to happen? Anything and everything.
Yes.
hey, you signed up for this. You don't remember the small print?
Yeah,
it's like,
so they need to slow down the right parts and speed up all the other filler stuff in between. This was so much a filler episode, and I gotta tell you, I watched it twice because I wanted to be able to speak on it correctly and go, okay, let me not just say it's a filler episode and not speak about it, because there were some cool things here and there about it, but for the most part, like you said, 5 minutes maybe scattered about. But my favorite part was when they got to the Trill homeworld. Beyond that, I didn't need anything else.
Look, you have an 8-episode season. You can't be putting fillers in there. Yeah. I'm sorry. You go back to Mandalorian. They have 8 episodes in a season. Yeah. I don't want to watch a filler at all in 8 episodes. I don't care how much story or how much you're trying to stretch it. Same thing with Discovery. Now Discovery has more than 8 episodes. I think it's 12 or 10, maybe 13.
Even so, this was the worst filler for sure. And I feel like I got to go back and retract my original statement from 2 podcasts ago about this being the best season ever, because
this is going downhill. Yeah. It's going downhill. This is going down. It's getting bad. Remember, I told you guys 2 more episodes. 2 more episodes. Right? That's one. What? Now it's 1 more. If the next episode is not an episode, I'll stop watching. I'll defer to you guys. So tell me, what was the episode like? So until you guys can get me excited again, because I feel like I'm throwing away not just episodes, moments of my life.
Well, and I'll say this just real quick, because we talked about Saru and Picard, and how I said that he had some of Picard in him, but he didn't have the captain mantle. It didn't seem like he does. I caught it the second time watching it. He mentions that Captain Pike makes it look so easy.
He does.
He mentioned that. Yeah. And so I thought that was interesting. So
he's still one of the best things about this show. By the way, that particular episode is called Forget Me Not. I think it's called Forget Me. Yeah. You need to forget that thing ever took place in episode 4, like in the whole season.
That should be a mystery episode, a lost episode.
Yeah,
we have a few of those for this podcast. All right. Well, what else? All right, let's move on. Let's move on to some of the stuff that we have here, guys. I
want to go out there and talk about a little bit about the Xbox for 2-3 minutes, if you wanna. If you would allow me. Xbox Series X released yesterday. Tuesday the 10th, and man, it was not smooth. It was not smooth. Now I get it. I get that there's there's always some snafus on launch day, right? You know, something doesn't connect, you're missing a cable in the box, maybe, you know. But to get systems that are making noises,
That's great.
you know, crunching and creeping and some reported. I think the smoke reports are kind of a little off-putting, and it's made up.
No,
But
I did read because they show how they do it. I did read that those are
okay.
So,
But to get
Wait a
multiple,
Imagine, Mike, you said there's a reel.
yeah, I saw. No, they're not real. I saw a video of how they were making it look like it was smoking.
Okay.
so in the first 24 hours, to have so many systems reported with disk drive issues, grinding, don't want to take the disk, you can't insert the disk, and then on top of that, you couldn't connect to Xbox Live. They fixed that issue, but you couldn't connect to Xbox Live, and then the shortage of systems. I say shortage, the creation of demand. It should be what it is. I'm an Xbox guy, and it's rare that you hear me talk like this about Microsoft. But this makes me scared that you're dropping $500
Or
and this is
more.
what you get, or more.
Yeah.
And can we get better control of scalpers? Come on, guys. You know, you go to a store. They opened at 9:00. You're there at 9:01, and they're sold out. How's that possible? How is that possible? So
It's not. You were the third in line. Come on.
yeah. You know, so I think that I'm scared with that. And listen, the Xbox not the only one. PS5 not even released. Their release is tomorrow, the 12th. Some people have gotten it early to test the system and all that, and already they have dead systems.
Wow,
dead systems. We're not even talking about. I guess crunching and grinding isn't bad, right? You know, when you try to run, because they all promote external hard drives. That's how they're saving on some cost. And PlayStation 5 is supposedly launching with 700 gigs. And when you get it, so you plug it external, and it's crashing the software. And then eventually not red ring, blue ring. It's like it's just dying. It's not working. So man,
or red wings.
Yeah, or red ring. Either way, we're gonna repeat this one. I like it. But both systems out the gate, very, very, very shaky, and I'm still gonna get Xbox, but I'm
You're gonna get it, even though they have all these problems. You're gonna get
I'm
it.
still gonna get it. But,
I'll wait for mine.
yes.
How is it possible that we are at this point? The technology is so much better. How is this possible that they're dealing with this?
I don't know.
Russian deadlines. I mean, they want to hit holidays. If you don't hit holidays, that's
but
it.
it's not like they haven't been planning for this. It's not like they started yesterday. They said, "Hey, let's make an Xbox." Okay, we'll put it out tomorrow. That's not how it works. This has been in the works for months, if not years, at this point.
By the way, these Xbox 1 terabyte stuff, it looks like they're like a small little itty bitty drive. Is it?
Yeah, they are. They're small expandable cartridges that I think they're like 2 to 3 inches in length. They're very small.
They don't even look that big.
They're very small. You know what they remind me of? The 360 memory cards. Remember Xbox 360 came out with memory cards?
Oh, yeah,
That reminds me of those. But did you see the price of them? That's the interesting piece.
Oh, well, if they're that small, yeah, sure, they're going to be expensive.
You're paying half the price of a system for one of those cards.
That's ridiculous.
That's big.
But people will spend it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to.
Hey, imagine losing one of those things.
Ooh.
That's cool because it's convenient and small, and but when you lose it, you're like, I can't find this thing. Where'd it go?
Yeah, it's like the little DS games around the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Stick them in your wallet. So it's gonna be interesting who wins or who survives the worst of the worst. You know, is it Xbox or PlayStation? So
the guy. Listen, Gamegod, I'm telling you right now. Now's the time to sit back and wait. Don't go out and get one. That's a mistake.
I see the pictures with the boxes and people open them, and it looks. Hey, now that I'm seeing actually in people's houses, and when they put pictures up, it looks pretty cool, man. I want one.
It does look cool, but again, I'm going where Moose is going. Yep, I don't want to deal with that, because then you got to get a new one. You got to have it replaced, and when's that going to happen? Oh, well, the replacements aren't going to be available until this time, and it's going to be frustrating. You're going to pay for something you can't even use like you want to use it.
Yeah. So that's what I got. That's what I got on the video game scene. It's interesting week. I'll follow up with the PlayStation launch next week, guys, and let you know if how bumpy of a ride that was.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to. I got the okay just a couple of days ago to upgrade my iPhone 11 Pro Max to the 11 or the 12 Pro Max. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go with the Max or the Mini first. I don't see any reason why to go with the Mini first. I think I have to get the Max first because of the camera. That's the only reason.
For sure. Mine's on pre-order, by the way, Moose.
Is it? Okay.
Come on, Moose. Come on. You can put it in the front pocket with the Mini. Come on, Moose.
I do want it. I will get it, by the way. I will get it. It's either that or go and get like an old I have them here. I mean, I've got old iPhones right in front of me. I guess I could just use one of those. The problem is that you're still limited with the storage, even on the really old ones. Because can you believe they sold them like with 16
gigs?
16 gigs. That was the normal. 16 gigs. If you had 32 gigs, people were looking at you like, "Why'd you get that? That's too much."
That's too much.
That's too much, man. Yeah, listen.
Never use it.
Yeah.
And here I go. I'm getting a 512 because I'm.
Oh my goodness, I am not getting the 512.
Hey, and then when he gets the 512, he gets the 512. Man, that's not enough. That's not enough, man.
Of course. I have a 2 terabyte backup for my iCloud.
I need. Hey, I got 512 and just phone numbers.
That's right. That's nice. Don't take a picture. Oh boy. Yeah. One of the other things I'm still waiting on that. I will say that for a quick rundown, I was part of the. I think we talked about it on the podcast a couple weeks back, but this is the Amazon Halo band, which I do have. I've been using this pretty regularly over the past couple of weeks, and I'm going to tell you, it's pretty cool. It does a lot of cool stuff. I guess I want to go into the details of it, but it's a Fitbit, but it's made by Amazon, and it's decent price too. I think it's only like $69 or $70.
Okay.
I still think it's an opportunity for you to use one. It really does the sleep thing. That's why I got it, to measure my sleep and how I'm sleeping and all kinds of cool stuff. I guess I could go into.
How are you sleeping, by the way?
I'm sleeping much better. I'm actually trying to sleep to get a better score on.
Yeah, because I don't know why. I don't know why you bought it. You was never sleeping.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. But now I'm like, I gotta get some more sleep because it's a game to me. It's a game. Like I'm trying to get a better number for my sleep score.
It's saying 3 hours is not enough. We need more data.
Yeah. They're saying sleep more. Sleep.
So you to understand it, you only bought it for the one function of tracking your sleep pattern.
It does a lot of other stuff. It does like a body mass index. It does.
We know that,
but that's not the question he asked you. He asked you if that's the only reason you bought it was for the sleep.
I literally bought it for the sleeping piece because I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because you take your Apple Watch off to charge.
I do. I don't understand how people can wear it when they're sleeping because, even mine is a Series 5. It's got a good battery life, but it's not great battery life. This Amazon thing here will last a week, 10 days, a week to 10 days. You can't beat that. I mean, that's having it on the entire time.
It's only doing two functions: watching you sleep and telling you about it.
Well, no, it does a lot more than that. Here's the other thing, that you can turn it on to measure your speech and how you're speaking to people. It'll give you feedback. It's like a full-time coach. It'll give you feedback of how you're saying things. So it'll say, "Oh, you were a little aggressive here. You sounded happy here." That's what it says.
Hey, this is the conversation Moose is having with his watch. His watch says, "We appreciate if you take some of the aggression off." I know what I'm saying. That's what Moose is saying to his watch. He's talking to his watch. Don't talk to me like that.
It's kind of fun with that aspect of it. But when you have that on, the battery chews up a bit more because it's always on. It's always listening.
It's always listening.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean, it's 7 to 10 days. My gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah. That's incredible. Now, I did pick up just recently. I picked up a Wise band. Now, are you familiar with this? Yes, Gene, that's correct. If you have to be in the chat room to understand that one, guys. The Wise band, it's a band that you wear. It actually has an LCD display. This one doesn't have a display, so you go to your app to see all the statistics.
Okay.
in the Wise band, and Wise makes some great cameras that you can use around your house and things like that. They make scales, and they're doing a lot of other stuff. Anyway, they're just about to make an update on their cameras, by the way, which I'm hoping to get. Now, they have a band that is that it says tracker. It does your pulse and all this other stuff that it will do. But it also, I think it tracks your sleep. I'm not real sure. But it also has the lady in the box associated with it, so you can talk to it as a band, and you don't have to be around necessarily one of your devices in the room. Which, by the way, they do a great job of that. They have lots of mics on them, so I've never found some really dead spots where it won't pick up. But if you have your band done with the Wise band, you just talk to it, and boom, it'll do whatever you need it to do.
I can see Mike's face. Mike is not liking that feature. He doesn't like anything following him.
No, actually, my face is saying, okay, what's the name of that watch again?
It's a Wise band.
WYZE.
And it's only $29.99. That's actually the better price point. It's same with their cameras. They have such great deals. Their cameras are like $19.99 to $29.99 and very affordable. And they do the same thing as some of these other cameras do. Trust me, they are very good. And they make a quality product. And it's China made, but they do a quality product. So what else isn't China made that you have that's
right? And they should be a sponsor, by the way.
They should be. They really should be. As much as I talk, I need to reach out to them and see. Anybody want to do that for me? Please tell them.
Everybody's running to it.
Yes, thank you. All right. Wow, glad you guys are jumping on that. Thanks. There is a sponsor that I'm trying to talk to, trying to court them into doing some things with us. I actually own probably I don't know, like 8 of their products, and so I'm really trying to get them to do something with us because I like their product. It's quality, but it's very expensive. I'm trying to get them to do some stuff with us, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Okay. Yeah, that's just kind of a heads up of we're always looking for sponsors. We're looking for sponsors for the podcast from from companies to individuals to you name it. I mean, that's how we started. That's how the podcast started, through sponsorship.
I like what Gene said in the room there, Moose. Can it stop you from shopping? That's the real that's the watch right there.
Never. There's not a watch that can do that. There's not an item out there that can do that. I don't think. I'm always shopping, Gene. Always on the lookout.
If it can stop Moose from shopping, that's a watch.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff coming out from DJI here soon. A new Mavic Mini, which is a drone, Mini 2, I think it is. That's going to be very, very cool. There's going to be some other really cool stuff coming out with some tech. And by the way, who was it? Wasn't Sennheiser? It is, and one of the other
Sonos.
Sonos just released a microphone. Did you see that?
No.
They just released another microphone. Anyway, that's other tech stuff that you guys probably don't want to hear about, but it's very cool. We'll probably talk about that offline.
We will.
Hey, yeah, Gene, zap it away wouldn't do it for me. I would still shop.
You know what that reminds me, Moose, of that Twilight Zone episode to get you to quit smoking. I don't know if you remember that, where you had to go into this room and you would get zapped, electrocuted every time you tried to pick up a cigarette.
Yeah, yes, that's right. It's now become life. We need to make a zapper for maybe Gamegod. Something. I think so.
Yes, it may not work. That may go to research to R&R for quite a bit of time.
R&D. Easy for you.
That too. There's 2 departments.
That's exactly what I was going to do. When you make a mistake, it's going to zap you every time.
I'll get immune to it after 1 episode.
Pavlov's dog. All right. Anyway, what else? Any last comments, guys?
Mike, real quick. Fantastic Beast.
Oh, Fantastic Beast, Mike. What do you have?
Yeah, well, Johnny Depp will no longer be there, so that's interesting. It's going to be what is his? They're talking about what is his name?
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much. And they have him in talks for it. I don't know what to think about that because I like him as an actor, but I don't know if he can be. I don't know if he can be that guy.
I'd like to talk about that. Let's bring that up next week because I think that guy's actually probably a better actor than Johnny Depp. But that's just what I have to say about that.
I was just leaving. Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Gamegod, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.
That was Gamegod.